Hello, everybody. Hey, this is Ken Faulkner, and here to talk about some knives on a video with you guys, because I love sharing my knives, my journey, my journey through my collecting, and this is another stop in the journey. Lately, I've been looking at and buying some knives from companies that I haven't purchased before for whatever reason, and We Knives, that's one of them. I mean, it is a big, it's just well-known brand. It's not like, and it's not like they're hard to get as well. I mean, you can pick them up, Blade HQ, all the dealers. It's not like they're out of stock all the time. It's just something about it, and for whatever reason, now I have one. This one was a used knife. I got a message on Instagram from a friend. Showed the picture of the knife and says in great quality, like new, BNIB or whatever. That good quality, but he was looking to move it for whatever reason, and he had a price on there, and I saw the pivot on the knife because it was a picture of the knife, so I knew it was a We knife. And when I saw the price that he was asking for, I had to jump on it. I did. I have to, and so yeah. So now I do have a We knife in the collection, and that We knife is something that I didn't recognize before. I wasn't familiar with this model. If you can see it, it's the Trogon. Let me go ahead and get it out. I've obviously unboxed it and carried it many times. I'm terrible with the unboxing on video, but I do like to give you the kind of the experience of the We knife. If you've never bought a We knife before, you got this signature looking sleeve on their box. Very nice. You got usual stuff. Then you got that got some stickers there, troll candy. We Made Better. And they have a nice pouch with their website on the back side, and it's one of these ones with the kind of the soft stuff here. Almost feels like a fur sort of thing, kind of furry. And you can actually put two knives in this. And the cool thing about this is if you're loaning out a knife to a friend, a couple knives to a friend, you can just put two knives in one case and send it off to them. Anyhow, this is the knife, and I saw the picture of it, and it's beautiful. And probably should wipe it off a little bit. Hang on a second, guys. I look much better in the picture, but I've been using this one. Like I said, I've been carrying it quite a bit. It's fun to have a We knife in the collection. And there it is in all of its beauty. So I was immediately drawn to the blade shape. I know a lot of people don't like Tantos. It's interesting when you have a knife channel and you get comments, and I get, I'd say 95%, 99% of my comments are positive ones, but there's going to be people that are going to say, I don't like this, or I don't like that. Nothing wrong with it, especially when they're respectful. They're not like being angry about it or anything like that. They're just giving their opinions. We all have our opinions. I do like a Tanto, although it's not super obvious that this is a Tanto, but there is a slight secondary tip there. It has like a little bit of a belly on that front edge. So I don't know. Maybe some people would even say that's not a Tanto, or maybe I don't know. But it is a compound grind. If I'm catching the light, you can kind of see how it's hollow here and flat here, like a lot of the Tantos are. And I think that's always a really good opportunity to get that hollow and flat combination. It also has a swedge on the top. And I'm kind of holding it so you can kind of see it, how it comes down. Instead of just coming straight across, it's coming down at an angle and kind of matching this clip on the front. So it's kind of this crazy clip point, Tanto, spear pointy kind of looking thing. It's quite interesting. So 20 CV blade and titanium handle with some really cool milling. If it's coming out on the camera, I'm trying to catch it in the light just right. So it's that diagonal micro milling, very subtle, but you get the grip. When you're sliding here, you're not just sliding along; it's catching you. It's holding on to you. So it's great hold. Fits well in my hand. It's at the edge. My pinky's kind of coming off on this little part here. Still feels comfortable. It's about 3¼ maybe 3 3/8 inch long blade, which is a good size for me. Maybe on the lower end, but a good size. Good EDC knife. One of the things that took me a while to get used to is just how thin it is. This way, it doesn't really take up a lot of room in the pocket, and that's kind of nice. Let's see if I get my calipers out, because it feels thin, but then sometimes it's kind of deceptive. Looks like the battery is out in my calipers. Never mind. So anyway, you can look at it. It feels thin. Part of that is probably because it is contoured. So the handle is contoured, and that helps to get that feeling of thinness in the hand. But it's lightweight, a little lighter than I normally like, but still, these are features that maybe aren't my preferences, but still have value, I'd say. Some cool milling, the way they do these 3 cuts for the relief on the lock bar. The way they have this little cutout here for access to the lock bar makes it very easy to open and close. The action on this knife is quite good. Drops really nice and smooth. Nice fuller and thumb studs, which are my, either a hole or a thumb stud, or a fuller, but it has a combination of the two, so you have that option. And get it with a thumb, even though the reverse flick is more my thing. Great looking knife. So then I started asking myself, well, why do I not own more WE knives? And I was kind of looking at my collection, looking at, WE knives are the same company as Civivi and Cincut, and I have a ton of Civivi and Cincut knives. They're one of my most popular brands, those two combined, in my collection. That and Kaiser, which are more budget knives generally. And for some reason, the WE knives, it has something about it has kept me from buying up till now. The WE knives tend to be about $300. You can see the price tag on this one new was $299. So pretty much $299.99, which is basically $300. $300 has always been kind of a tipping point with me. And when I first started collecting knives, I wouldn't even think about getting a $300 knife until I got this knife. And I think what really pushed me over the edge on this ZT-0562 was that it was not only a ZT knife, which is, just a well-known brand, but it also is a Hinderer design. And Hinderer is pretty legendary. And at the time that I was buying this one, definitely out of my price range. Since then, I got a Hinderer in my collection, and I love it. But yeah, it took a long time to get to that point. So that's where it all started, with that ZT. And then I started looking at other knives in that price range. I've always looked at WE knives. There's ones that I said, oh, I want to get that one. I want to get that one. And for some reason, I get up to the point of buying and I back off, and maybe I buy something else. But I've noticed in my collection that, and I've tried to do this video a couple times and trying to explain it. So I'm trying to explain it as best I can to make people understand, because I know that this is a hot topic when it comes to USA versus Chinese made knives. And in my mind, and the reason why I do have several Chinese knives over $300, there's another category in there. And it's a category of a knife, such as this Chavez 229 Redención Kickstop, that is made in China, OEM'd in China, but it is an American company. So the 0562, American company, American made, USA. Another example would be the Atom from TRM. These two are full on yet USA, and most of the knives over $300 that I bought for my collection are USA made and USA companies. But there are quite a few Chinese made knives, but they are from companies that are USA. Arcane Design, Null Knives are a couple examples. So I think that is a big sticking point for me. The only other knife that I have that's over 300 that is a Chinese company with Chinese manufacturing is this Riot. So these are the two, even though this is $299, but basically 300. These are the two in that price range that are a Chinese company, brand, and Chinese made. And I have a lot of, probably most of my collection is Chinese knives. I have to admit that. I know that there's a lot of people like that. I don't feel too terribly bad, because if it weren't for Chinese knives, I would have way fewer knives. Maybe that would be a good thing. I don't know. But regardless of the fact, these two knives here also have in common that when I bought them, I paid less than $300 for them, because they're both used, and I got both of these on an incredible bargain. The desire was there. I mean, obviously, Chinese companies like Riot or We make incredible knives. And if they were USA made knives, it would have a different appeal to me, I think. Or if it's a USA company, because I like to support USA makers, and I wish we had more of them out there. I know that there's a lot of companies that are getting OEMs done in China that are trying to find somewhere in the US that they can do it and still make money. And that's the real trick. My company, I think I mentioned this before, we've always been a USA manufacturing design company, even though it's not knives, obviously, but it's other products. And at one point, because China was always in this category of lower quality for years, but over the years, over my 30 years in my career, they've closed the gap on that quality. And the quality of these knives, now, obviously there's still low quality Chinese knives, but We and Riot just make incredibly good knives. So they closed the gap. And us at my company, we opened up a manufacturing facility in India so that we can compete with China. So, I mean, it's a reality. It's a certain thing, and it's a business decision. You got to deal with it, until something is done to even the playing field. There's various things. I don't want to get too into it. But regardless, I mean, it's a long, long story to kind of give you my perspective. And I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I don't want anybody to say, oh, I'm going to do it just because Ken does it. And I don't think that's happening. But regardless of that, this is my thought process. USA made, USA brand are my preferred knives. But at the price point, there's a limit to what I can get. And I'm so addicted to these knives and just buying them and getting this constant flow. Having a channel is an excuse to buy more knives for me. Because, I got to get more knives so I can do more videos, right? Anyhow, but so American brands that are getting OEM'd over there, I still want to support those American brands. You know, a lot of the knife YouTubers that are putting out, you know, obviously Devo Knives, Tempest Knives, you know, groups like that are getting OEMs over in China, and I want to support them. I mean, and I can understand, I do understand why they're doing what they're doing. So anyway, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I'm not. I'm trying not to try to validate myself, but this is my thought process. This is what it is. I do now have a WE knife in my collection. First one I'm very impressed with. Whether or not I'll buy more, especially at full price, I can't say it this time. But this gives me an opportunity to carry this one, and I have been enjoying having this one in my collection. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. And you guys will follow along with me as long as I'm doing videos. I'll be sharing my story and my journey. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. WE Trogon. Maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong. That's all it's the best I could do. Very nice knife. I would recommend it if you're okay with spending $300. If you get it for under 200, I definitely recommend it, 100%. But if you're willing to spend, you know, $300 for a Chinese brand and knife, I have no, you know, I'm not going to argue with you. I would recommend it. It's a great knife. All right, guys, I've gabbed on long enough. I will see you on the next one. Bye.